Hi, everyone. For today's insights and tips, I want to share a brief section of my course on how to develop confident goal scorers. And what I want to do is show you my framework and my methodology just to give you a visual and explain why mental skills are so valuable to help your player perform on the field. Right? In soccer is a decision-making sport. So our players are out there and they're trying to score more goals. So they're faced with that decision. What do I do when I get the ball? What do I do off the ball? Right? What do I do on defense? And in this case, you see that they need to know what their options are, and they need to pay attention and focus their attention on the most important cues. And those cues are very game related, where the space is, where the net is, where my teammates are moving. Specifically, if I want to score a goal, I need to know where these things are, what's happening around me. And that's enough that the brain can handle, right? That's what you need to focus your attention on. So then you see the red arrows here, and the internal distractions are the ones we're talking about right now. If you're internally distracted by fears, doubts, fatigue, right? That's the stuff we said is defined as mental. So if I'm having an emotion, if I'm having a thought that is unrelated to helping me succeed, if I'm having a thought about a mistake or a fear of getting yelled at, these moments are going to disrupt me or distract me from making decisions, which in turn, you as parents and coaches, you will see the player perform or underperform, or hesitate or start acting out in some way or maybe hide from the ball, right? And so let's now look at my framework, all right, to get another image of this. So take a look here, and I call it emotion management framework, and that's ultimately leading up to, teaching players how to regulate their emotions. But right now, let's just look at the areas. So like I said, every player is going to experience triggers. They could be positive, they could be negative. Let's just do this example with a negative trigger. So let's say I am dribbling and I lose possession of the ball and I'm in the final third and I really wanted to go to goal. And that experience may trigger a response inside of my body. And that response is happening in three ways, three distinct areas that we can recognize. And remember, mental. So the body cells here is kind of what I mean by your fight or flight, your physiological response. So that's hormones being released in the brain, all right, and changing your heart rate, your blood flow, maybe sensations in your stomach, rapid thoughts, muscles tensing up, all right? Then we have emotions, and I talked about that in the brain, right? The amygdala being able to process the emotions, players being able to label their emotions. What is happening? What kind of energy are you sensing in the body? And then this other area, the third area, is thoughts. And I said that was really important because thoughts, obviously, they're happening in our mind. We have this voice. We have a dialogue, a critical voice, automatic thoughts. Our job as, parents, coaches, teachers is to help your player become more aware of what those thoughts sound like, and then talk about or teach our player how to control what they pay attention to in the best way possible. So these are the three areas that change. And then the final thing at the bottom is the behavioral, their performance. So once that change happens, we want to take a look and say, okay, how is that disrupting or distracting a player from performing, if at all? If it's a positive thing, then that's fine, right? If it's a negative, we might see the player hesitating, blaming, hiding, getting quiet. So I don't have all the responses on this piece of paper, but this is going to be a process to become aware of.